Many Magic the Gathering players ask the question, is it worth it to buy From the Vault Transform? Once the only way to get premium reprints, From the Vaults have recently had a lot of competition. From everything from Masters sets to the host of supplemental products like gift packs, anthologies, and Commander precons, many in the community have questioned whether the Vault series may have become antiquated in these modern times. So has From the Vault transformed into a misdirected afterthought, or is it still a classic collection of both critical and compelling cards? Let's take a look. From the Vault Transform contains 15 premium foil cards, including 3 with new art and an exclusive spin-down die. Well, the symbol on the spin-down die is exclusive. Spin-down dies come with just about everything these days. I'm surprised they're not in booster packs. I've heard so much talk lately that From the Vault is fatigued and a relic of a bygone era, so for this set, I'd like to get right down to it. What does From the Vault Transform contain? What is it worth? And what are these cards actually played in? For pricing, as always for these, I will be showing the current cost of these cards in non-foil, as the From the Vault foils have a history of never being worth much more than the original price of the original printings of their respective cards, and typically tend to run in line with their non-foil counterparts. There are, of course, exceptions to this rule, but starting with Delver of Secrets, we see it's a common currently going for over $1, and I do want to note that the foils are selling for $7.83, simply because the alternate art on this particular card might make it a collector's piece, since it is played in, here we go, Modern and Legacy Grixis Delver, Sultai Delver, Legacy Teamer Delver, Legacy and Vintage Blue-Red, Pauper Izzet Delver, Pauper Izzet Blitz, Pauper Mono Blue, and I'm willing to bet most Canadian Highlander lists that run blue. Gazella obviously saw a lot of play in Standard, but having just rotated out. Frontier is trying to make the mono-white Eldrazi and other mono-white builds work with her, and it may happen. If nothing else, she sees Commander play. Definitely a bit more lackluster than the other inclusions. Jace Vryn's Prodigy, just under $20 each. This card sees play in Modern 4-color and Bant Company decks, Modern Infect as well, and Modern Blue-Red decks, Legacy 4-color Control, Vintage Blue Moon, Vintage Team Leovold, as well as 4-color Vintage lists running blue, and of course, Frontier Multicolor Control. Kytheon, Hero of Akros, just under $4 and sees white-blue Frontier Control play. Nissa, Vastwood Seer, $6 in Elves and Abzan for Frontier. Huntmaster of the Fells, $8.58. This card is played in Modern Jund and Green-Red Ponza. Archangel Avacyn, currently selling for $3.59, and played in Esper Aggro and Frontier. Arguel's Bloodfast, 71 cents, and played in Blue-Black Control and Abzan tokens for Standard. Arlen Cord, $2.74, and sees Frontier play as well in Jund Midrange. Bloodline Keeper, appropriately priced at $13.13, is in Modern Junk. Liliana, Heretical Healer, $8.33, sees some fringe Modern play, but is also a staple for Rally Control and Frontier. Bruna barely saw much in Standard, and has even less potential in Frontier. As for Commander, boy, I wish these had been printed with partners with Bruna or partners with Gazella. Still, a nice collector's piece. Chandra, Fire of Kaladesh, sells for $250 each, and is played in Frontier decks like Autarker Red. Elbrus, the Binding Blade, is $3.99 and actually sees some vintage play in mono white. Garruk Relentless, $4.71, only a Commander favorite. Thus, the total value to buy all 15 of these cards in non-foil as of the filming of this video would be $81.43. As you can see from our breakdown, the majority of these cards are played in various constructed decks, from Standard to Modern to Legacy to even Vintage, not to mention Commander and, yeah, Frontier play. This means that if you don't have a use for all of them, they make great inclusions in your trade binder, as there's likely going to be someone out there looking for some of these. Although MSRP on this is $39.99, the lowest this can be found for sale is $69.99 on eBay. Again, all these prices reflect the market at the time of making the video, and with sets such as this, prices can fluctuate rapidly. What about past From the Vault sets? Unlike dual decks, From the Vault's exceptionally limited printing has remained fairly consistent since the set's inception. It's not printing numbers that has caused many of these sets to either skyrocket in value for collectors or sadly splutter out at MSRP. It's actually the included cards. Take a look at this rundown of past sets, and then let's see where From the Vault Transform lines up. The lowest you can currently buy From the Vault Lore sealed is $47.99. From the Vault Angels will cost you $69.65. From the Vault Annihilation, $35. Ouch! From the Vault 20, $100. From the Vault Realms, $125. From the Vault Relics, $204. From the Vault Legends, $119.12. From the Vault Exiled, $236.98. From the Vault Dragons, $208.95. Again, From the Vault Annihilation is not selling for a mere $35, while From the Vault Realms is $125 due to an overprinting of one or underprinting of another. To put it in terms you kids can understand, it's because From the Vault Annihilation was hella lame, and From the Vault Realms was well lit. Indeed. From the Vault Realms is a collection of lands that almost entirely see Commander play, even some modern heavies as well. Many have called it a Commander premium land base in a box. The cards within have retained their value, have gone up in value because they see play in a lot of places. Yet despite the overwhelming necessity of board wipe in Commander, From the Vault Annihilation was not as fortunate. A laughable collection of mostly the worst or lowest value board wipe spells, Annihilation not only failed to contain what was at the time the desperately needed reprint of Damnation, but it also failed to have many, if any, of the board wipe spells that actually see play. So our formula is, do people play with these cards in constructed decks? If yes, then good. If no, then bad. You know, I really think this formula, complex as it may be, is something Wizards should consider with things like, I don't know, what to include in Masters sets? Friday Night Magic promos? Oh no, wait, those don't exist anymore. Well, in whatever it is they think they are doing to get us the cards we need for the decks we want to play. So, as I said at the start of this video, most of the cards in this collection see play in at least one, if not multiple decks. Nearly all of them have homes in Commander. While, like all From the Vaults, there's some pretty massive intentional duds, it's safe to say that several years from now, the majority of these cards will still be seeing play, and thus will still have value. But there's one more detail that must be mentioned, and that's the theme of this set itself: Transform. Double-faced cards are not an easy thing for Wizards of the Coast to print, and thus, randomly including a double-faced card in a supplemental or special set is likely not going to happen. In other words, you're not just going to see a Delver of Secrets in one of the future Commander precons. You're not going to see Jace Vryn's Prodigy in the future From the Vault Planeswalkers set if all the other cards in that set are not transform cards. That's because the equipment and process needed to print them double-sided is a special one, and they're only going to be in, say, block sets where there is double-faced cards, or in a From the Vault that's all double-faced cards. So that means it is highly reasonable to assume that most of the cards here are unlikely to see further reprints, and if and when they do see those reprints, they will be few and far between. The most important remaining factor: how little can you snap one of these From the Vaults up for? Final conclusion: From the Vault Transform is a solid selection of cards that almost entirely see play in constructed decks throughout multiple formats and are also, due to the difficulty in printing DFCs in supplemental product, cards that are likely to not be reprinted again anytime soon. The biggest factor to consider here is how much you can buy one for, as the lower the price dramatically means the higher the value to you, as this is a product with interest to a wide variety of players, as well as Magic collectors. Not only is From the Vault Transform worth it, but it is highly likely to both retain and increase in worth as time passes. The grade here is price dependent. Anyone lucky enough to get this for the MSRP of $39.99 to, let's say, about $10 over at $49.99 has gotten themselves an amazing deal, and that's a solid A. $50 to $69.99 is a B+, B, and I would advise the cap on this to not be much higher at the $70 to $79.99 range. And I'd say that's the limit, at least as of the making of this video, and that would be a C. Do not pay over $80 for this product. At that price, at this time, it is not worth it. I hope very much this video has been worth it to you. If so, you can really help me out just by hitting that like button, by leaving a comment, by sharing this video with a friend, and especially by pressing subscribe. And remember, when you go to play Magic, try and spend some of your money where you are at while you play. And that's your local game store. From the Vaults are only available there, but other items that might be available at Target or Walmart, well, see if you can buy them at your local game store instead. If it's fair, if it's reasonable, that's the way to support your Magic the Gathering community. And this video is brought to you by my and many other people's local game store, Card Kingdom, a brick-and-mortar pillar of this community, as well as the Patreon support of viewers such as you. These are the people that keep Tolarian Community College going and growing strong. So thank you.